Normalization. Habits are non-emotionals. You are not going to be excited that you are really doing it once it is a habit. When a behavior makes the transitions to normalcy, it's habit. It's boring. Good habits are not exciting. They are just good for you. You will be more excited about life because of your habits, but don't expect it with the behavior itself. Warning: how to handle overachievement. Overachievement is one reason I love this system. We previously discussed how overachieving your targets repeatedly can create an expectation to do it consistently before your willpower can support that much work. This is somewhat good and somewhat bad. It's good because your brain is beginning to make it a habit, but it's bad because it raises the bar too soon, which remove the many benefits of having many habits. Starting small and removing the pressure of expectation is the recipe we are using for success, and it works well, so we want to keep it as long as possible. Again, I am not saying you can't do more if you are really want to run 5 miles today, but your target is just to run out the front door. Then that's great. Go ahead and run the 5 miles. But don't change your requirement to 5 miles. Always be willing to meet your tiny requirement and go back inside. You won't usually choose to go back inside, even being completely free to do so. If you are overachieving right away, don't worry, my writing mini habits caught fire right away, but it wasn't until the 57th day that I saw consistently significant overachievement in my reading. Mini some mini habits sparks will take longer to ignite than others. It mostly depends on your interest level in the habit and usually perceive difficulty in continuing beyond your initial target. I've written well over my requirement almost every day, but I continue to take comfort in my freedom. I can stop at 50 words if I have plans. I can meet the requirement in minutes and enjoy my day. If you overachieve, that's great. If not, that's still great. Not just okay, but great. We'll celebrate all progress because it's not easy to change your brain, but then again, it is kind of easy to do it this way, isn't it? Compared to wrestling with some massive goal and running on the willpower fumes, this is a relatively cakewalk with better result. 8 mini habit rules. Know the rules well so you can break them effectively. Dalai Lama. Some rules are meant to be broken, these aren't, but the Dalai Lama code still apply. Once you master something, you can manage it without rules. The key is in understanding the principles behind these rules. Since these rules are helpful and positive anyway, you won't need to think about breaking them. In fact, if you find yourself struggling to make progress with your mini habits, it's probably because you are breaking one of these rules. Um, Number one, never ever cheat. These are a few ways to cheat the mini habit system. The first most common way to cheat is to give yourself a mini habit such as one push up per day, but secretly require that you do more than the single push up. The reason why you need to be really careful not to do this is because every extra ounce of requirement you put on yourself is going to require more willpower to meet, and well, you can likely handle that extra willpower load. You may be pursuing multiple habits at once, and we want to guarantee success, not to the line of success and failure. You are always allowed to do extra, so let the extra reps come from you, not your requirement. If you want to do more in any season, but feel resistance, set additional small requirement after your mini habit. Unlike other habits programs and self-help strategies, the discouragement is very rare with mini habits. If you only have to do a single push-up or sit-ups that can stop you from succeeding. It doesn't matter that your goal is small, you're training your brain for success and building up a small version of what you hope to accomplish someday. And depending on your eagerness, someday could be very soon. If your results like mine, you will be hitting your bigger target sooner than expected. But please don't let the raise your expectation. Expect little and you will have the hunger to do more when you realize how powerful starting is. And that's, yes, you had plenty of motivation to do these things all along, which can dormant until you're started. Life gets very exciting. Number two, point number two, be happy with all progress. Being happy with a small progress is different from having low standards. These are quoted by Bruce Lee that sums it up. Be happy but never satisfied. Bruce Lee did more with his limited lifetime of 32 years than two typical people do with 80 years each. So I listened to him. In Rex Seaver's TED Talk, he showed a video of a man dancing in a field at an outdoor event. The man looked a bit silly out there by himself dancing wildly to the music. After a few seconds of dancing, another person joined him. Then there were two. After another several seconds, another person joined them, and then another. And when the group reached about 10 people, a giant crowd of people rushed in to join them. Dozens of people were dancing wildly. It's quite the spectacle. And how did it start? One man dance. This concept shows exactly what mini habits can do for you. The crowd of people who joined lead are like your dormant dreams, shy and scared to take actions. They aren't confident enough to dance in the spotlight. That first man dancing is like your decision to take the first small step. Then you notice, hey, I am actually doing this right now. That's when your dormant dreams and passion rush in to encourage you. You already have all the inspiration you need inside of you, but it may be dormant. Awaken it with mini habit. Mini habits are a pretty simple brain tricks at the core, but also a life philosophy that values starting, letting actions precede motivation, and believing that the small steps can accumulate into giant leaps forward. When you complete a mini habit, it means your mini man is dancing. Cheer him, or because he's starting your personal growth party, celebrate all progress. Point number three, reward yourself often, especially after mini habits. What if rewards themselves were rewarding? This is what if there was a benefit to receive a reward other than the reward itself. We typically think of reward as things we get for doing something good, but reward can give back to when you complete a mini habit and reward yourself, whether it's with food, a fun night out, or a monologue in a mirror about how amazing you are. Your reward is going to pay you back by encouraging you to perform your mini habit again. Ultimately, this creates a positive feedback loop. You will get addicted to living a great life, and if that's not ideal, I don't know what is. A perfect behavior would reward you now and later, since most healthy behavior like gnawing or raw broccoli offers limited reward now and greater long-term rewards. Is helpful to attach some form of encouragement to the activity in the early stage. Later, when you notice how great you look and feel, you can assume it from the broccoli and smile. Starting in the hardest part, both in the movement and in the early days of habit building, initially you will be You will see limited results after a hard workout. You will feel sore, but look in the mirror and see no change after eating broccoli. You will feel about the same after writing one day. Uh, one, on day one, you will not have a full book, but you do these things over the long haul, you can end up with a fit and healthy body and several full-length novel. I don't imagine people will forget to reward themselves, but this rule is here just in case. Point 4, stay level headed. Aim for a calm mindset and trust in the process. In these past months that I've seen so much progress, I have not been overly excited and pumped up. It has been boring at times. The difference between winners and losers is that the losers quite when things get boring and monotonous. It's not about motivation, it's about leveraging and conserving your willpower to form lifelong good habits. The calm mindset is the best mindset for building habit because it's steady and predictable. You may get excited as you make progress, but don't let that excitement becomes your basis for taking actions. This shift to a reliance on motivation, emotion is what fools many personal development plans. Point 5, if you feel a strong resistance, back off and go smaller. Common wisdom tell us that we go to push through strong feelings of resistance. Well, that is stupid. We already established that willpower is limited, and if you are pushing beyond your means now, it means you're going to crush and burn later. If you think that you can just do it later as well, then you are not taking into account that you might not have enough desire or willpower to do it later. Let's picture it. You are sitting down and you want to exercise, but you are really don't feel like it. There's intense resistance. What do you do in this scenario? You don't want to wrestle your brain. If you can coax into coax it into doing things your way, suggest progressively smaller and smaller takes until the resistance you feel is minimal. If your goal is to work out at the gym, scale back to requiring yourself to drive to the gym, say it really bad, and the best you can do is open your clothes drawer. After you do that, pick up your workout clothes and put them in on. If these sounds stupid to you, that's great. When it sounds stupid, that means your brain is giving the go ahead. These stupid small steps slide under the brain radar like an expert jewels thief. Avoid security cameras and trip sensors, and before your brain catches on, you will be on the treadmill at the gym. No step is too small. The good news is that even if you burn yourself out, the solution for taking action despite the burnout is stupid small step. Burnout is willpower exhaustion. It happens when people force themselves to do too much for too long, but as you are exhausted on the floor, you can appeal to your brain and say, hey, could we just do one push-up right now? After that, you might get motivated to more, or you could set a few more of these stupid small steps. If you think this strategy sounds absolutely completely ridiculous and stupid, it's because you think you can do more. Your pride is telling you that you are better than having to break tasks down into small steps. But every giant accomplishment is made of a very small step anyway, and to take them one at a time like that, like this is not weak, but precise. Before I did the first push-up of the one push-up challenge, I felt above doing it. I thought that one push-up was worthless because it's about like clapping my hand as far as exercise goes. But when it helped me exercise for 30 minutes, it's changed my mind. So try this out and see for yourself how you can be nearly unstoppable with this strategy. When I feel resistance to any task, I make it a smaller problem solve.